Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, glory due to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. To the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the four corners of the earth who may look like the heathen nations. And to the very few sisters that listen and learn to you, Shalom. I'm the brother Yasharala with Great Millstone, Chicago. This is from the New York Post. Target loses $9 billion in week following boycott calls over LGBTQ-friendly kids clothing. All right, so Target, they have launched a clothing line, a so-called friendly kids clothing line that had to do with the alternative lifestyles, and it backfired on them just like the Budweiser. All right, when they did the whole alternative lifestyle Bud Light cans or Budweiser, whatever beer that was, at the end of the day it ended up backfiring, and nobody's buying that beer, and you can find that beer for like super cheap. All right, and Target, they're seeing the same effects, because really this is an attack on our children. All right, you got a group of people who, according to their lifestyles, cannot bring forth life, but they wanna program your children, all right, with the clothings, with the cartoons, with the TV, the social media apps, to groom them into this type of lifestyle. And it's not their own kids, because again, they can't have kids for the most part, if you're living those lifestyles. A man and a woman will have to bring forth a child, but these are people who don't have children, who are trying to influence your children. So the people ain't messing with it, really. So it ended up backfiring on them. And I was at Target earlier today, and I seen them removing those displays, because I guess they must have got a call from up top saying, hey, take them down, because they're starting to see the effects. This is 2 Peter 2:6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ash, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that should live ungodly. So Sodom and Gomorrah was an example of how not to be. They received the judgment on, if you live these type of lifestyles, this is the judgment for that. All right. And what do you have now today? You have a place in the Bible, in Revelations, the 11th chapter, when it's speaking about Babylon, which is America. All right. It's spiritually called what? Sodom. Why? Because of all of this colorful shit that we've been seeing, or that these governments been pushing, these stores been pushing. Jude verse 7, it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. All right. So that's what they were doing. They were into fornication, going after strange flesh, into animals and same sex, etc. Right? They're set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Now, Sodom and Gomorrah suffered fire and brimstone for heaven. All right, but it's not burning today. But it's an example of you live like this, you're gonna get that eternal fire. All right, which Babylon is gonna burn for a very, very, very long time. All right, it's gonna receive the greatest judgment that's ever dished out. And one of the reasons why is because of it being spiritually Sodom. It's not the physical place Sodom that was destroyed, but it has the spirit of Sodom. All right, so it's gonna get that fire, which is gonna be the nuclear missile fire. Matthews 10:15, it says, "Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city." So for the judgment that's to come, the judgment that happened to Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be a easier judgment to go through than to the judgment that's coming in the near future. All right. So just really think about that. Sodom and Gomorrah, they got wiped off the map, and the cities round about them. That's going to be more tolerable. That's going to be easier to go through a judgment like that than the judgment that's going to come to this place. All right. So Sodom and Gomorrah was an example of how not to live. All right. The scriptures say, let's get it really quick. What do the scriptures say? Oh no, wait. Salakia. Here it goes. Romans 15:4, it says, For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So the things that were written aforetime were for our learning, and was written aforetime about these wicked lifestyles is an example of judgment. Okay. And soon enough, all of these companies pushing these alternative lifestyles, hey, you're gonna see that. Look, that it's only what you're only grooming, or you're only favoriting 1% of the population that's into that stuff. The rest of the 99, they ain't really dealing with it like that. That's why these companies are losing billions of dollars, because hey, we don't want to deal with that shit. All right. And you keep forcing it on the people, it's going to get to a point where the Lord is going to come judge this place for its wickedness. So Yahweh Ratzazah, this was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.